Okay, wait 2 to 3 minutes. Wait 1 minute for others. Till that, all of you can see PDF, right? See this diagram. Today we are going to start with single phase induction motor. Okay, so in 1 minute we'll start. Others see the circuit diagram, construction of single phase induction motor. Go through it. Okay, in 1 minute we'll start.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, so today we are going to start with single phase induction motor. Three phase induction motor. In previous lecture we have finished. We have seen three phase induction motor. Once you switch on three phase AC supply. Okay, three phase induction motor means what is the input? Three phase AC supply. Okay, so once you switch on three phase induction motor, does it start on its own? Yes, we have studied three-phase induction motor in previous lectures. Okay, once you switch on three-phase AC supply, does it start on its own? You can tell. Three-phase induction motor. Once you switch on three-phase AC supply, does it start on its own? Is it a self-starting? Even DC machines also. Once you switch on DC input, does it start on its own? All of you can listen me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all of you can listen me, right? Okay, so tell me, three-phase induction motor, is it a self-starting? And DC machines also we have studied. Once you switch on AC or DC supply for three-phase induction motor and DC motor, do they start on their own? Yes, do they start on their own or not? Who can tell? They start on their own. Self-starting machines they are called. Okay, DC motor and all types, DC motor and three-phase induction motor. Once you switch on DC supply for DC motors and AC supply for three-phase induction motor, they start on their own. That's why they are called as self-starting motors. Okay, keep in your mind. On which principle? Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, that is mutual induction. Same is the working principle of single phase induction motor, but single phase induction motor, it is not self starting. Got it? Single phase induction motor is not self starting. So how to make it self starting, why it is not self starting, that also we are going to see in this unit. Single phase AC supply is available everywhere, all of you know, everywhere, for lighting purposes, for fans, ceiling fans. Which one supply is used? Single phase AC supply. Okay, mixers, TV, charger, everything operates on single phase AC supply. Heater in residential area, commercial area, they operate on single phase AC supply. So single phase AC supply is available. So in mixers, grinders, fans, refrigerators, washing machines, single phase AC machines are used. Okay, so now we are going to see which one type single phase AC machine. Single phase induction motor. Single phase induction motor you will find it in fans, grinders, okay, pumps. These are the applications. We'll see its types and applications. Okay, so single phase induction motor. Now as it is a motor, means what is the input? You can tell. As it is a motor, means what is the input? Electrical, very good. It's a single phase induction motor, means electrical input is in which form? Electrical input is in which form? AC, DC, single phase, three phase. Single phase induction motor, very good. AC is the electrical input. And single phase or three phase?
Single phase.
Single phase or three phase? Single phase. Okay, so single phase AC electrical is the input. And what is its output? As it is a motor, means what is the output?
Mechanical.
Output is what? Mechanical. Got it? So it's a single phase AC electrical is the input and output is mechanical. So in PDF, all of you can see this is the two input terminals. See, first one and second one. Here input voltage is V. So it's a AC. Upper one terminal is, you can mark as phase. It can be red color, yellow color or blue color insulation. Okay, so live phase, and another one is marked as neutral. Got it? So these are the two input terminals, phase and neutral. Okay, so single phase AC electrical is the input and output is mechanical. Now we'll see its construction first. So centrally it's a shaft. Okay, on the shaft, what is wound on the shaft? Yes, who can tell what is wound on shaft? What is wound on shaft? Who can tell? Yes, shaft. What is wound on shaft? Who can tell? In general, Same thing, whatever we have seen in DC machines, three-phase induction motor, what is wound on shaft? Directly copper wire are there on shaft, where the copper wire are wound on shaft, whatever is the portion, what is called? Rotor core. Okay, what it is called? Rotor core. So on shaft, rotor core made up of magnetic material, it is laminated. Okay, then on its periphery slots are there. Its construction is like squirrel cage rotor, so slots are slightly skewed. Why slightly skewed construction? Who can tell? Yes, rotor slots, why not parallel to shaft axis in squirrel cage? They are slightly skewed. Why? Who can tell? Why rotor slots are slightly skewed? In the slots, copper bars are there in squirrel cage. So why slightly skewed construction? What is its advantage? Who can tell? Yes, what is the advantage of squirrel cage rotor? Who can tell? What is the advantage of squirrel cage rotor? To reduce not losses, it reduces noise, humming, to avoid magnetic locking. Very good. Okay, so see, it reduces noise when it rotates. Whatever the noise produced will be less. Again, magnetic locking of stator and rotor slots possibility will be less. Again, third one is it runs at smoother speed, because whatever the torque or act on rotor will be smooth. Got it? So slightly skewed construction. In the slots, copper bars are there, which are shorted from both the ends with the help of end rings that are also made up of copper. Then air gap is there between stator and rotor. See here, air gap is there between stator and rotor, and stator, it is again laminated. It is made up of silicon steel. Stator laminated construction made up of silicon steel, and in the slots again copper windings are there. Okay, so if you are using single winding on stator, which is called as main winding. Okay, it is called as main winding, which is there on stator. So if only single winding is there, main winding, then rotor is not self-starting. Then this single phase induction motor is not self-starting. Okay, so here we'll show you construction of stator. So see here. See, this one everyone can see. Stator construction, single phase induction motor. Every machine from outer side it is covered. See here, it looks like this single phase induction motor. Terminal box, here you can see capacitor is there. In capacitor start, and in capacitor start, capacitor run single phase induction motor. You will find capacitor also there on its outer periphery. Okay, and stator core made up of silicon steel to reduce hysteresis loss. It is laminated to reduce eddy current loss. Okay, so slots are there on its inner periphery. In the slots, windings are there. So if you are considering single phase induction motor with only main winding on stator, okay, only with main winding on stator, whatever the magnetic field produced, that will be alternating, and with this alternating magnetic field, it is not self-starting. Okay, so what you will find on stator core, two windings are there. One is main winding and another one is auxiliary winding. See here, it is written, another one is stator winding, starting winding. Okay, so you will find on stator two windings are there. One is called as main winding and another one is called as starting winding. These starting winding, how it is designed on stator, uh, 90-degree. The phase difference between these two windings is 90-degree. Like this, they are designed on stator. Okay, so consider initially stator with single winding only. Okay, why it is not self-starting? How to make it self-starting, that we are going to see. First one question. So construction is clear, centrally shaft, on shaft rotor core which is laminated, on rotor slots are there which are slightly skewed in the slots, copper bars are there shorted from both the ends with the help of circular end ring. Squirrel cage rotor is there, air gap between stator and rotor, stator core laminated construction to reduce hysteresis loss. Then it is to reduce eddy current loss, laminated construction. It is made up of silicon steel, stator core made up of silicon steel to reduce hysteresis loss. Okay, and in the slots windings are there. Now in the slot you consider only single winding is there which is main winding. So all of you can see here it is the main winding which is connected across phase and neutral. Okay, consider only single winding. Now we are going to see the topic why single phase induction motor is not self-starting. Okay, question you get asked on this. Is single phase induction motor self-starting? So it is not. Why? So consider main winding is there on stator, connected across fade and neutral. Okay, once you switch on single phase AC supply, current starts to flow through single phase winding, main winding. So whatever the magnetic field produced because of it, that is alternating magnetic field, it is not rotating. Okay, with the help of single winding you can produce only alternating magnetic field and not rotating magnetic field. Three phase induction motor we have seen three windings are there on stator, and because of it in three phase induction motor rotating magnetic field is produced. But here in single phase induction motor only single winding is there on stator, so because of it it produces only because of it produces only alternating magnetic field. Okay, alternating okay, that alternating magnetic field comes in contact with rotor conductors. Now in rotor conductor EMF is induced, current starts to flow, it will also produce its own flux. Okay, okay, so in rotor EMF is induced, current starts to flow, rotor also will produce its own flux. Whatever the flux produced by rotor, it reacts with stator flux. But at start you will find in single phase induction motor torque produced is zero. That we'll see like this is the nature. See this characteristics, torque speed characteristics or torque slip characteristics at start means when speed is zero. All of you can see along x-axis its speed is there n. Okay, and along y-axis torque is there at start means when n is zero. All of you can see torque produced by motor or torque acting on rotor is zero. So why it is zero, that we are going to see at start. But later on if you manually rotate it then with single winding on stator, then torque continuously produced. Only at start you have to rotate it manually with single winding on stator. Okay, so we'll see why at start with single winding on stator torque produced is zero, and that's why it is called as it is not self-starting. Okay, that we'll see. That we are going to derive with double field revolving theory. Question on this you will get asked, explain double revolving field theory of single phase induction motor. Or is it a self-starting? It's not. Explain why it is not self-starting. So that we are going to explain with double revolving field theory. Now what is this theory? According to this theory, what you have to consider, whatever this alternating field produced by single stator winding, this one is its nature. How many windings are there on stator? Consider right now only one winding is there which is called as main winding. When you switch on single phase AC supply, current starts to flow through it, alternating current, and because of it, it produces alternating magnetic field. Like this is its behavior. See, which is there in diagram C. Okay, so like this is its behavior. Now this alternating stator flux you can decompose by this theory. According to this theory, double revolving field theory, what this theory stated, this alternating magnetic field you can decompose into two components. First one is backward flux and another one is forward flux component. Backward flux component and forward flux component. And what's about their magnitude? Their magnitude is half of peak value. What is the peak value? See here, it's a phi 1 m. Half of this peak will be the magnitude of both the components, and both are rotating in opposite direction with each other. Means if backward is rotating in clockwise, forward is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Clear what this theory states? This alternating flux which is produced by a single main winding, this alternating flux produces by stator winding, you can decompose it into two components. One is forward magnetic field component, another one is backward magnetic field component. Their magnitude is half of peak. Okay, so now both are rotating in opposite direction with each other. So at start at 0 degree, all of you can see both are opposite to each other and their magnitude is same. So what is why it is so? See, you can prove this because at start at 0 degree both are opposite to each other, their magnitude is same, means resultant flux is 0. See, now for backward rotating in clockwise and forward rotating in anti-clockwise. So at 90 degree, when both the components rotate through 90 degree, see at 90 degree, what will be the resultant? Both the fluxes will add. So resultant is what? Equal to peak. Then again at 180 degree, when backward rotate 180 degree and forward component also rotate through 180 degree, both the magnitude opposite to each other and of equal magnitude, both the fluxes equal, then their resultant is 0. At 270 degree again both will add, but their direction is opposite, and at 360 degree again 0. Clear? Okay, means whatever this decomposition done and their rotation done is correct, means you will get the nature like this from 0 to 360 degree. Okay, so according to double field revolving theory, decompose it into two components. One rotates clockwise, another rotates anti-clockwise, and their magnitude is half of peak. Okay, so now this alternating flux which is produced by main field comes in contact with rotor conductors. So as per right now rotor is stationary. As per Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, flux is alternating, rotor conductors are stationary, EMF get induced in rotor conductor, squirrel cage rotor, circuit is closed one, resistance is less, EMF get induced, current starts to flow because circuit is closed one. So the moment EMF is induced in rotor conductor, current starts to flow through it. Okay, so what is happening now? Current is flowing through rotor conductor, so rotor conductor also will produce its own flux. So rotor conductors, whatever the flux produced by them, it reacts with backward flux component. Because of it, consider this is the rotor. Okay, this one is the rotor. So one conductor is over here on rotor, another conductor is here. Okay, so what is happening? Whatever this rotor conductor, its flux react with this backward component. So suppose with that torque produced is in this direction. So at the same instant, rotor flux reacts with this backward component also, and at the same instant, whatever the torque produced on this conductor is in this direction. So all of you can see both the torque, one is in clockwise direction, another is in anti-clockwise direction. This is the direction of torque produced on torque, and their magnitude is equal. So what is its effect? At start, the resultant torque is 0. So see here dotted line, dotted upper one is forward torque component, lower one dotted backward torque component. At start, when the speed is 0, all of you can see dotted, this is the magnitude, same is the magnitude of dotted backward. Their magnitude is equal, but direction is opposite to each other, and that's why at start, torque, resultant torque acting on rotor is 0. So rotor can't rotate. Clear? But the moment you manually rotate rotor now, at this instant, resultant torque is 0. Now you manually rotate rotor, which is practically not possible every time in all applications. Okay, now if I am manually rotating rotor in clockwise direction, consider, so this is the forward torque, Torque slip characteristics or slot spread characteristics nature is same as that of slip three-phase induction motor. Okay, so this is the forward acting in this direction. This is the backward acting in this direction. So the resultant of these two will be like this. See, manually you rotate it, then torque increases, reaches to maximum, and beyond this point still you are loading the motor. What is happening? Torque decreases, and at one moment it becomes it stops to rotate and can never be equal to ns. Okay, so what is the thing that at start with only main winding on stator, torque produced is 0. Now I am rotating it in anti-clockwise direction. Give manually rotate it in anti-clockwise direction. Again continuously motor will rotate. Once it starts rotating manually, initially you give rotation either in clockwise or anti-clockwise. Later on you don't have to. Continuously motor will rotate. But it is not possible to manually rotate rotor every time in all applications. So for that, so clear, it is not self-starting. Okay, is this clear to you? It is not self-starting because you can see here with only one main winding on stator, whatever the resultant torque at start is 0. Okay, is okay. So resultant torque is 0, means it is not self-starting. So how to make it self-starting? What is done? Along with main winding on stator, you will find one more winding is there, which is called as starting winding or auxiliary winding, and in series with it one centrifugal switch is also there. Okay, clear to all of you? So how to make it self-starting? Based on that, three types are there. First one is split phase induction motor. Second one is capacitor start induction motor. And third one is capacitor start capacitor run single phase induction motor. These three types are there only in your syllabus. Okay, it has more types also, but only three types are there. Split phase induction motor, same you can call as resistance split phase induction motor. Why? Because the starting winding, it is more resistive type. It is more resistive type, and this main winding is more inductive type. Okay, inductive type. And in series with starting winding, you can see one centrifugal switch is also there. Now if you observe both the windings, how are they connected? Observe these two terminals. Upper one is phase and lower one is neutral. Who can tell how both the windings are connected in? Observe how both the windings are connected in. Yes, observe across phase and neutral, how both the windings are connected in. Upper one is resistive starting winding and the main winding is inductive. So think about voltage applied and current flowing through them and phase difference. Till that I'll take the attendance. Now you tell me, observe the circuit diagram and you tell me how both the windings are connected across phase and neutral. Till that I'll take the attendance. And once you think about it, then see how much voltage is there across it and how much current is flowing and what's about their phase difference. Okay, I'm taking attendance. L division, today it's 24th. And how many students are there? Only 48. Only 48 are there. See how the windings are connected across phase and neutral. Who can tell? Okay, who can tell? Parallel, very good. Parallel. Now, how much voltage? Both the windings are in parallel, means what's about voltage across each winding? Same or different? Voltage across same. Okay. So this is the voltage. Once you switch on, current starts to flow. This is the total current flowing through main winding, which is more inductive IM. Current flowing through starting winding or auxiliary winding, which is more resistive, is marked as IST. Okay, so as starting winding or auxiliary winding is more resistive type. So see, this is the voltage supplied voltage single phase AC that we are considered along x-axis. Current flowing through starting winding IST more resistive. So for resistance, what we have seen, what is the phase difference between voltage and current? Yes, for resistance, what is the phase difference between voltage and current? Who can tell?
For what, ma'am?
0 degree. Very good. So it is not purely resistive, more resistive. So all of you can see phase difference between IST and V is nearly equal to 0 degree. Okay. Now main winding, it is more inductive. So for inductance, what we have seen, what is the phase difference between voltage and current for inductance? Current lags or current leads voltage by how much degree? Yes, for inductance, current lags or leads? Lags. Very good. Current lags voltage by 90 degree. Okay, so all of you can see this is the voltage. I am lagging to it by an angle phi m, which is nearly equal to 90 degree. Not exactly 90 degree. Why? This winding is not purely inductive. It is more inductive. Clear? So what is the resultant of two current? How we plot? Law of parallelogram you apply law of parallelogram, and what is the resultant current is I. Okay, so this is a phasor diagram for this. Now whatever is the phase difference between IM and IST, more is the phase difference, more the torque produced by this motor. Okay, so this motor produces moderate starting torque. Whatever the torque produce, its nature is same. Torque slip characteristics same. Nature is same as that of we have seen for three-phase induction motor. At start, speed is 0, slip is 1. This is the starting torque. Then as you go on changing load on motor, torque increases. Low slip region, it reaches to maximum. In high slip region, torque is inversely proportional to slip. Further you increase load, torque starts to decrease. Okay, so moderate starting torque it produces, and these are the applications of it. Fans, blowers, grinders, centrifugal pumps, washing machine, oil burners, office equipments, and in this range they are available 1/20 kilowatt up to 0.5 kilowatt. In this range these machines are available. Now what happens in the centrifugal switch is there? What is its application? Now here starting winding you are going to connect in the circuit. The moment you switch on with the help of centrifugal switch is closed, one starting winding is also there in the circuit. Now on stator two windings are there. Because of it, whatever the magnetic field produced, it is rotating magnetic field. Now rotating magnetic field comes in contact with squirrel cage rotor, EMF is induced, current starts to flow, it will also produce its own flux. Now because of rotating magnetic field, whatever the now current carrying conductor you are going to put in a magnetic field, torque produced on rotor conductors. Now whatever the because of rotating magnetic field, whatever the torque produced, because of it rotor rotates in one particular direction. Now if you want to change your direction of rotation of rotor, what you will do? Yes, who can tell? Same as that of DC machines. Suppose now rotor is rotating in clockwise direction. I want to rotate it in anti-clockwise direction. Whatever is the direction of rotating magnetic field, same will be the direction of rotation of rotor, same as that of three-phase induction motor. Now I want to reverse here direction of rotation of rotor. Now I wanted to make it anti-clockwise. What you have to do? Interchange terminals. Which one? Very good. You have to interchange terminals. Roll number 53. Very good. Which one? Which one terminals? 53, 6. Flat terminals. Very good. Which one? Of which winding? Both the windings or any one? Main winding and starting winding both or any one? Anyone. Very good. Either starting winding terminals you swap or main winding terminals you swap. Okay. Now what happens in this machine? Starting winding is required only to start the motor. we have seen earlier one. Okay, that is only at start torque produced is 0. See here, torque produced is 0 only at start. But if you once rotor starts rotating, continuously torque act on rotor, then no need of starting winding. That's why it is called as starting winding, which is required only at start. Once rotor starts rotating, no continuously torque will produced on rotor, because of which it rotates. Okay, so starting winding is required only at start. So what occurs, centrifugal switch is there in this motor. Once motor starts to rotate, 75 to 80% of its synchronous speed of rotating magnetic field, this centrifugal switch get opened, and then starting winding get disconnected from the circuit, and still a rotor is rotating. Clear? Okay, so clear about split phase induction motor. Okay, so what is done here to make single phase induction motor self start? Starting winding get added in the circuit with the help of centrifugal switch. It is in parallel with main winding and is designed on stator at 90 degree. Okay, so because of it, rotating magnetic field is produced, and once rotor attains speed 75 to 80% of synchronous speed of rotating magnetic field, that centrifugal switch get opened. No need of starting winding. Okay, so it produces moderate starting torque. Mover is the phase difference between these two. Mover will be the torque produced. Now you can increase this phase difference, and that is done with the rest two motors. Okay, how they have increased this phase difference? That is the capacitor start induction motor. So what is the difference? See here, it's a capacitor start induction motor. Compared to earlier one diagram, compared it with resistance split phase type induction motor. Compare, and what is the difference? Very small difference. What is it? What is it? Compare with earlier diagram we have seen just now diagram. Compare it. Squirrel cage rotor was there, main winding was there, starting winding was there, centrifugal switch was there, supply terminals were there. Now what is the difference?
Capacitor.
Yes, not phase difference. I am asking you in construction. From construction point of view, what is the difference? Who can tell?
Capacitor is present.
Who can tell what is the difference compared to earlier one diagram? Capacitor is there. Very good. Capacitor is there. Okay. So we have seen in generating station or at distribution station in control room, they switch on capacitor bank. For what purpose? Who can tell? For what purpose capacitor bank they switch on? For what purpose capacitor bank they switch on? To improve power factor. To improve power factor. Okay, they switch on capacitor. So here what is happening? See now, again the same thing, that is main winding is there, which is more inductive, starting winding is there, which is more resistive, centrifugal switch is also there, but in series with starting winding capacitor is also there. Means this winding, starting winding is more resistive, not purely resistive. Means R, L and C, more capacitive type. More capacitive type if it is there, then IST will lead V or lag V. Yes, this is this branch starting winding circuit. It is a series RLC. With series RLC, XC is greater than XL. So current will lead or lag voltage. Leads. So all of you can see here, this is the voltage along x-axis. IST leads V by some angle. Got it? Okay. By some angle phi st. In earlier one, it was in phase approximately, right? And then for main winding, more inductive, so Im lags V. Okay, so law of parallelogram you apply here. Once you apply law of parallelogram, resultant of IST and Im is I. So all of you can observe here, due to capacitor, whatever is the phase difference between total voltage and total current is less. in earlier one you can observe, see, whatever is the phase difference between total voltage and total current was more. Okay, lesser the angle, more is the power factor cos phi. Lesser the angle between total voltage and total current, more is the power factor. Means what is the plus point of this motor compared to earlier one? It has better power factor. And angle, if you observe alpha between IST and IM, that is also increased. See, in earlier one it is less. Okay, it's approximately 60°, but here if you observe here it is approximately 90°. So torque, what is its application? Capacitor start induction motor, it produces highest starting torque. More the angle alpha, more will be the torque produced by motor. So capacitor start motor, it produces more starting torque compared to earlier one. Now here also centrifugal switch is there. So what will occur? Here once you switch on supply voltage, both the windings get connected in parallel. In second winding, capacitor is also there in series with it. It produces rotating magnetic field. Because of it, unidirectional torque act on rotor. It starts to rotate, and once rotor attains 75 to 80% value of speed, of synchronous speed, then this centrifugal switch get opened automatically and this branch get disconnected from the circuit. Now only main winding is there in the circuit and still rotor is rotating. So that's why this winding is called as starting winding or auxiliary winding, which is used to start the motor. The capacitor is also there at start. So good power factor you will get at start, and starting torque produced by this motor is high. Now with the third one type, capacitor start, capacitor run induction motor. Means what does it mean? Capacitor start, earlier one was there, and this one capacitor start, capacitor run. Means capacitor in this motor is throughout or only at start in third one type? Yes, why it is called capacitor start, capacitor run? Because capacitor is there throughout its operation or only at start in third type? Throughout. Okay, very good. Throughout. That's why good power factor you will get throughout. Okay, so good power factor you will get throughout. So again the same thing here, no need of centrifugal switch. Okay, so three types we have seen. First one we have seen split phase induction motor. So here it produces moderate starting torque. Got it? And due to centrifugal switch, once it starts rotating, this winding get disconnected from circuit. In second one, as capacitor is there, capacitor start induction motor, as capacitor is there, at start you get better power factor, at start you get highest starting torque, and as motor attains 75 to 80% of synchronous speed, this switch get opened, capacitor and starting winding will be out of the circuit. But in third one type, this one motor torque produced by it comparatively less compared to this motor. Okay, but it gives good power factor throughout. No need of centrifugal switch, auxiliary winding and capacitor throughout will be there in the circuit. Okay, so these are the torque slip characteristic. At start speed is 0, slip is 1, so respective torque is called as starting torque. And then as you go on increasing load on motor, torque produced by motor increases, it reaches to maximum. Beyond this, further you go on putting load, at one moment torque produced by motor becomes 0 and it comes to rest. Okay, so here you can see that torque produced, starting torque, if you compare produced by both the motors, capacitor start produces more torque compared to third one, and these are the applications. See, first one, that is capacitor start, it is used for compressors, conveyors, grinders, fans, blower, refrigerators, air conditioner. And the second one, capacitor start, capacitor run, which gives better power factor, fans, blowers, air circulators. Okay, clear to you single phase induction motor? So what we have seen, first one, for single phase induction motor, which one point you have to do? Its construction. Is it a self starting? So it's not. Then why it is not self starting? Explain it with double filled revolving theory. Then its types we have seen, how to make it self-starting. Okay, so that how to make it self-starting, on stator you add one more winding which is called as auxiliary winding. So auxiliary winding if you add, so phase difference between them two is 90 degree. Okay, auxiliary winding is more resistive and main winding is more capacitive, centrifugal more inductive, and centrifugal switch is also there. So first one type you have to do resistance split phase induction motor. For that diagram and its explanation and its application, its advantage is what? It produces moderate starting torque. Okay, and what is its disadvantage? You can say compared to rest to its power factor is less and it don't produce highest starting torque. For the rest to you will find for the second one capacitor start single phase induction motor, capacitor is there in the circuit only at start, capacitor and auxiliary winding. So better power factor you get only at start and it produces highest starting torque. Compared to all three, this capacitor start produces highest starting torque. And the third one, capacitor start capacitor run induction motor, it produces a good torque throughout because capacitor and auxiliary winding is in the circuit throughout, so good start. But compared to capacitor start, starting torque of third one is less. Okay, so applications clear to you. What you have to do? Single phase induction motor, its construction, why it is not self-starting, how to make it self-starting for all three types, its diagram, phasor diagram, and its explanation. Phasor diagram not included in your syllabus, but if you do it, then a better way you can explain it. Okay, so not compulsory phasor diagram. So diagram, its explanation and application and advantages and disadvantages. For the rest to torque produced in terms of torque and cos phi, you can state advantages and disadvantages and do applications of each. 1 mark, 2 mark, 4 mark, 6 marks question. Clear? Single phase induction motor. Okay, got it? So here we have finished with single phase induction motor. Now only one topic left, synchronous generator. It's synchronous generator, its construction, working principle and application. Okay, that part will finish on Monday. Why is starting torque less in throughout capacitor? Okay, so see, actually here torque produced, it depends on angle between the two currents. Okay, so obviously this angle is less in third one type compared to this one. Okay, compared to this one, this angle is less and that's why. Clear? Okay, got it? Because that torque produced by motor, it depends on angle between the two currents, IM and IST. So obviously, if you compare second and third type, in third type, this angle is less. That's why. Okay, clear? Okay, so next is single phase, sorry, synchronous generator only is left. Otherwise all contents of 6 units over, only synchronous generator. So hardly 1 hour or half an hour is enough. That will cover on Monday. Okay, so till today's all lectures I'll post on VOLP. Okay, attendance is over. I'm going to end meeting.